So one of the key questions that keeps coming up is green spill, and that is the green light that shines over your subject through the hair, ricochets off of a white shirt, whatever it is, that makes it difficult to get nice, clean-cut edges. And green spill is basically when there is more green light on a subject from the back than there is white light from a key light, a fill light, or a hair light to offset that. And there's always a balance that you have to strike between enough light on the subject and enough light to have your green screen be a good chroma key. The advantage of the AGS is the fact that you can achieve a better uniform green with less intensity from a self-illuminated source than you would from a reflected source. Again, one of the important things is right now I've got a really good lighting setup on me, but if we reduce the light, what you'll find is that you have to have corresponding reduction in the intensity of the green screen to keep that balance between the green screen being a uniform green source of color and the exposure on yourself. So what we've done here is to turn off our side light, which is a combination of kind of backlight and fill light. And you notice that there's no change to the green screen, because what you worry about when lighting your subject is the light that would hit the green screen and cause hotspots and shadows. In this case, the light was only on myself and had no impact on the green screen. So the only effect that it has is really an artistic one, where now you have, one side of my face is in shadow, one side of my face is lit, but no effect on how you would need to adjust the green screen to still maintain a good chroma for subtraction. This is what it looks like with the AGS turned off and back on again. So in this example, what we've done is to turn off our key light and turn on our side light. And what you notice is it gives us a great cinematic look where I've got dark shadows on one side of my face and illumination on the other. The key light, even though it was casting a shadow on the AGS, wasn't causing any problems with developing a chroma key. This is what it looks like when the AGS is turned off, and this is what it looks like when the AGS is turned back on. So what we've done here is to drop the intensity of our only light in the studio, which is a key light, significantly. And we've reduced the amount of intensity on the AGS in relationship to that to keep the amount of green spill down to a minimum. We were originally running the AGS at about 50%. You can see there's way too much intensity for getting a good clean shot. We've dropped it down to 25%, which the lower you can keep the AGS, the more you reduce the effects of green spill. And then to give you an idea, this is what it looks like when the AGS is off, and this is what it looks like when the AGS is on. So this is the AGS in complete darkness. We tell you it works in complete darkness. There's no lights in the studio at all except for the monitor that's in front of me, and it's about 10 feet away. And you can see that the green screen is evenly lit, but not enough chroma information to do a subtraction, so that we'll raise it up just a little bit. And this is the setup in essentially total darkness. And the reason for this is if you want to have a dark shot and you want to reduce the effects of spill, you can see just how little intensity is needed from the AGS to achieve a nice uniform chroma key. So in some instances, you can have a really challenging environment where you want to film with virtually no light. It may be because you want to have an artistic mood or setting for your actor, or it may be if you're a streamer from a comfort standpoint. So what we've got here is no lights in the studio whatsoever, except for this little Prizmo pocket light, which we have set at 8%. To keep the green spill down, what we've done is correspondingly drop the intensity of the AGS as much as possible to maintain a good chroma key to work with, but yet reduce the amount of green spill on, gray hair and things like this. And even though it's casting a shadow, the shadow is compensated for by the AGS. This is what it looks like with the AGS turned off. And this is what it looks like with the AGS turned back on again. So what we've done is create a really challenging environment. We've turned out all the lights in the studio, except for this small pocket light, which we have in front of me, which is at 8%. I've got on a nice pressed white shirt, my wonderful silver gray hair, and we've dropped the intensity of the AGS to match, reduce green spill. So you notice virtually no green spill on me, and we're in a very, very dark environment. This is what it looks like with the AGS off. This is what it looks like with the AGS on. Again, virtually no lights in the studio except for one pocket light. So we've decided to take this challenge even further. And if you want to create a very dramatic scene, and in this case, what we've done is we've turned off all of the lights in the studio. The only light that's here are these two candles. See, I'm wearing a white shirt. I got my silver gray hair, and I'm sitting in front of an AGS. We want to minimize the amount of green spill in the situation, in which case we've turned the intensity way down on the AGS. We still have a really nice chroma background, minimize green spill. And here's what it looks like with the AGS off. And here's what it looks like when I turn the AGS back on. So you probably wouldn't shoot with just candlelight like we did in one of the other scenes. So what we've done here is we've added a Prizmo light being handheld by Surge at about 5%. These are little handheld lights. And the goal was to create this dramatic mood for both the actor and the environment, and a real cinematic view. We have me in a white shirt, my silver gray hair, and we're trying to minimize the amount of green spill on me. So we drop the intensity of the AGS way down as much as possible to still maintain a good chroma key. So more of the by candlelight only demonstration of the AGS. No other lights on in the studio at all. And the AGS set at minimum. Here's what it looks like without the AGS on. And here's what it looks like with the AGS turned back on. As you can see, it works absolutely fantastic in incredibly low light environments. And really minimal green spill in this kind of a setup. It's amazing.